Welcome to Change of Pace Weekly. We are here live on our first ever episode on video. And this week we've got another stacked up episode. A lot happening in the world of cricket. Test cricket is changing, more rules coming in. Obviously the coronavirus changing the way our game is also played. Some news from the Pakistan camp. Some news from the BBL, the petri dish that is T20 League cricket is increasingly testing the boundaries of the modern game. We also take a look at one of the most revered partnerships in Pakistan cricket in terms of Misbah-ul-Haq and Younis Khan. And with me to discuss all of that and a little bit more is Emmett and Emmett. And to start off the episode, happy birthday, AZ Khwaja. How you doing?
Thank you so much, Musad, and welcome to our Change of Paces. We're going live on video for the very first time, so plenty of things to discuss, some big developments in Pakistan cricket. And Ahmed Hassan, how are you doing, bro?
I'm good. Happy birthday, Z. I think your name says MZK for some reason.
Yeah, वो छोटे भाई का मैंने zoom लगाया हुआ तो मैंने कहा कौन login करे, you know. एक Pandora's box वो भी खुल जाना था.
23 years young is AZ Khwaja. Before we get the show on the road, obviously our listeners know that last week we tackled one of the most difficult topics around the world right now, the Black Lives Matter movement originating in the USA. We talked about a little bit of how that's taking context in the cricketing world. Across the past week, that's actually kind of caught on fire. We saw Sambit Bal, who is the founder and chief editor of one of the biggest cricketing websites, Cricinfo, put out a long editorial today itself about how colorism is a part of racism. And we've seen Darren Sammy become increasingly vocal about what's happened to him in the IPL. And it just echoes of what actually happens in Pakistan too. So it's just based on that discussion, it is, we did mention last week that there was a lack of discourse in our sport. It's just, we're just glad to see that discourse is finally happening.
Yeah, and just to shed more light on that topic, जो Darren Sammy ने बेचारे ने he had a very heartfelt, you know, he was quite hurt जब उसको realize किया कि, you know, the way we were, the IPL players and his teammates were using the word कालू, और इतने tone deaf है हमारे देसी लोग, उसके replies में आप खुद देख लें, वो कहते हैं नहीं हम ऐसे नहीं कह रहे थे, वैसे नहीं कह रहे थे, भाई racism ऐसे वैसे नहीं होती, it's just wrong, point blank. Yeah. And even then people don't realize उसको context समझा रहे हैं, उसको blacks mansplain कर रहे हैं or something like that. It's a new blacks plain कर रहे हैं. तो बंदा अब क्या बोले यार, ये तो हमारे attitudes है हमारे देशियों के. It's very
and people were commenting like, you're using the word black. Okay, what are you trying to, what's the point? Yeah, what's the point that you're trying to make? But it's good. I mean, it's good that he made, you know, his thoughts vocal. He voiced them out and he called out his teammates and people who are very public or in the public eye about these things. And I hope that because of this, you know, people take note and they stop using such derogatory terms.
It's a conversation that we wanted to happen has finally taken place. But in some other news, last week, AZ Khwaja had the nerve, the audacity, and we won't go after him because it's his birthday, but he actually went out and said that Misbah-ul-Haq was the greatest ever test captain in the history of Pakistan cricket. Put him to the test again. He is drafted another one of his close mates, one of his silent assassins, the best sweeper in world cricket, the most runs ever in Pakistan for whites, and he's got centuries on every single test playing nation. It is Younis Khan. It is the return of MisYou. It's the most loved partnership in Pakistan cricket since Waqar and Wasim. Khwaja, what do you make of that in the coaching staff?
Yeah, alongside Younis Khan, they got Mushtaq Ahmed as a spin consultant, and of course you got Waqar already there. I think it's a very good appointment. I think इसमें कोई harm नहीं है to have Younis Khan, who has recently been in Test cricket, so he knows all about it. He's made runs everywhere. His track record speaks for itself. And the only issue is with, you know, Younis Khan थोड़ा सा, you know, मुंह फट सा है कभी-कभी, you know, he's a bit unpredictable in the media. Other than that, as a mentor, as a guide, शान मसूद ने भी recently बहुत positive comments किए हैं. अजहर अली ने भी बहुत credit दिया यूनिस खान को to his development. I think it's a very good appointment. We need, you know, cricketers who are fresh, so to speak, with international cricket. So Younis Khan, Waqar Younis, Mushtaq and Misbah. इससे बेहतर आप backroom staff, you couldn't even dream of it. I am fully endorse this and 100% behind it.
Emmett, is this the most stacked coaching side you've ever seen in terms of talent?
Yeah, I think it's an all-star lineup when it comes to coaches. And, you know, the good thing here is that the last tour that we had with Misbah and Younis, you know, was a successful one. We drew the series. We walked away with something from that series, and people didn't expect that. Now, having both of these guys in the camp is like having them out in the middle without really having them in the middle, you know, because you still get that experience.
हारिस सोहेल नहीं जा रहा तो पैड अप कर ले यूनुस खान या मिसबाह.
भाई आप वो छोड़ें, हारिस सोहेल के ना जाने से सबसे बड़ा फायदा किसको हो जाएगा? Fawad Alam.
Surprise entry on the episode.
Wow. Yeah, where'd that come from?
Sarkhil is
made me lose my.
Sarkhil is here, but he's really not here. We'll continue on with the discussion.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously,
Sarkhil, Chinky, tu bahut badal gayi re.
But Haris obviously making some room in the Pakistan lineup. But let's talk about their coaching capacity. Younis Khan, in my opinion, I know Khwaja will disagree. I'm not sure about your views on this, Ahmed, but in my opinion, Younis Khan is the greatest ever batsman to play Test cricket for Pakistan. Now, again, Inzi and Saeed and the rest, there's a lot of discussion to be had there. Welcome to the chat.
Happy birthday कहना चाहता हूँ ऐसी अहमद ख्वाजा साहब आपको बहुत happy birthday.
What's up, Sarkhil? I like the agricultural.
Would you put the plants out, Masad?
The plant, yeah, the marijuana growing in
rumble in the jungle.
Sarkhil's Abu Dhabi living room.
He's got the green lighting for it too.
Abu Zabi.
But I got to read out a quote here. And Sarkhil, we are talking about the return of MisYou. We know how much you love that duo as well. You've got so many Twitter followers just because of them. So there's obviously there's obviously that. But we do want to read out this quote from a beloved Ramiz Raja. He says, "Since Younis is a no-nonsense kind of character, he can also have temperamental issues at times. He often has mood swings, and there is always a danger of him getting upset about leaving his job." What do you make of that, Ahmed?
मेरी गलती है बस ना करो ज़्यादा बस
ये हमारी live meme feed जो है वो bottom right पे चलती रहेगी.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, he's kind of right about this. He is a temperamental man. Obviously, that comes with his greatness. Is that going to reflect in him as a coach?
I don't think that has reflected in him as a coach. I mean, उसने पेशावर ज़ल्मी के लिए भी जो है वो mentorship की है और मतलब guidance जो है वो हमेशा से देता है. Think of it in this sense that even when you're the senior most player within that lineup, you're playing the role of coach and mentor anyway. So having this role officially shouldn't change the way that he was in the dressing room. And I think the kind of relationships that he has with, the players that are still playing, it's the same guys that he was with 2 years ago before, 3 years ago, before he retired. So I don't think it's going to make a huge difference in the way that he behaves. Uska ego issue aa jaye ya usko koi cheez buri lag jaye ya usko ye lage ki yaar I'm not getting the kind of attention that I deserve, then maybe he flips. But
I feel like since he's not the head coach, obviously Misbah will have the final decision. Mm-hmm. And if someone chooses something he doesn't want, he might throw a tantrum. He might just say like, yaar, he will definitely throw a tantrum about something for sure.
Let me mention two things. First of all, क्योंकि वकार भी in a ways he is the senior of Misbah और वो चल रहा है. Misbah को I think इतना ego नहीं है कि भाई मैं head coach हूँ, मेरी मर्जी चलेगी, मेरी टीम मेरी मर्जी, ऐसी उसका mindset नहीं है. He knows Younis was a bigger player than him. Arguably even Mushtaq was a bigger player than him. तो Misbah का I don't feel इतना ego है कि it's gonna be a collaborative effort, ऐसी कोई बात नहीं. And the other thing, Younis Khan का अगर हम track record देखें within the team, तो उसके बस वो एक लड़ाई हुई थी वो फुटबॉल खेलते हुए इंजमाम के साथ back in the World Cup 2003. That was the only thing I can remember that was scandalous about Younis Khan within the team ethos. उसके अलावा ठीक है मीडिया में और ऑफ द फील्ड वो तो यार सारे प्लेयर ही करते हैं. शोएब मलिक, शाहिद अफरीदी, that whole generation was screwed up in a sense. So I don't feel कि वो इतना बड़ा issue. Off the field वो जो करता है within the team parameters, he's fine. He's the perfect team.
That's a good point, actually.
And also one other thing, if you look at the dynamics now, they're not very different than what it was when Misbah was the captain and Younis was playing under him. So he still had that role and he still had that recognition. Abhi bhi wahi scene hai. Misbah is the coach. Misbah is the big guy. But you're there to do a job. You're there to guide the players. And as a batting consultant or batting coach, it's a big, big role, especially given the fact that in conditions like England, your players are going to need that guidance. They're going to need that experience. So him being there is going to be a huge help for those guys.
And another thing, one more thing I'd like to add, कि अगर वो बैटिंग कोच बन गया तो इनका पॉसिबल कमबैक और कप्तानी लेने का मैटर तो क्लोज हो गया, क्योंकि यूनुस खान तो अभी भी कह रहे हैं मुझे कप्तान बना दो. तो ये चैप्टर एटलीस्ट उन्होंने एक्सेप्ट कर लिया कि भाई हम क्रिकेट में वापस नहीं आ रहे एक्टिव प्लेयर्स.
Not quite.
Mohammed Yusuf
क्योंकि
still
अभी
hasn't
तक
retired.
मोहम्मद यूसुफ और रज़ाक अभी तक ऑफिशियली रिटायर नहीं हुए तो
एक मिनट
इमरान नज़ीर ने अभी भी खेल रहा है
बैकअप प्लेयर्स वाला है ना इधर ऑप्शन बैकअप प्लेयर्स में ये दोनों जा रहे हैं
उसमें हम कह सकते हैं भाई कोरोना वायरस हमारे प्लेयर कम पड़ गए हमें चाहिए
और लोग बुला नहीं सकते आ जाएं
I could still vouch for the fact that they're fitter than some of the lot. But honestly, jokes aside, one of my personal reservations with Pakistani coaching has always been, yes, we bring in some great personalities and some great players, but often they're out of touch with what modern cricket is evolving into. What I like about these appointments is Mushtaq Ahmed, I mean, as old as he may be, he's recently worked with England. And Misbah and Younis have just recently retired. And by the way, when they did retire, they were at the top of their game. So they weren't.
Mr. Mossad, I would like to remind you, Fawad Alam won the World T20 as coach. So how dare you? जो बंदा 1860s में टेस्ट क्रिकेट खेलता था उसने T20 टाइटल
No, I mean,
वो WG ग्रेस के साथ अंडर 19 खेल रहा था और उसने आपको T20 टाइटल जिताया है. How dare you?
There is obviously exceptions to the rules, and Intikhab Alam is an exception to many rules in Pakistan cricket. But when we talk about Misbah and Younis, retired at the right time, retired in form, retired with a win, and we just want them to flourish like they did on the field as they do off the field. Let's take a look at the game of cricket now. Test cricket hopefully will return soon in July with the West Indies going to England. But there are a little bit of changes in the playing conditions, obviously, with the pandemic happening. But I feel like the ICC have taken this opportunity to also slide in a few things that I personally that I wasn't happy with. Let me just take you through
dry balls, please.
major changes here.
Keep your balls dry.
Yes.
Yeah. COVID-19 replacements. Like for like replacement allowed for a player displaying COVID-19 symptoms. Obviously, no use of saliva on the ball. Umpires can issue 2 warnings if a player applies saliva on the wall. 5-run penalty.
Wall?
On the ball. अच्छा, what's the 1 minute? The perfect sledging is यार आप चौका मार दो और फिर ना बॉलर को देख
थूक लगा Yeah, but imagine the umpire giving that warning. You know how hilarious would that be for him? I told you stop spitting on the ball, bro.
कोरोना की umpire signal क्या हो गया यार वो हमें किसी से पूछना चाहिए.
What's this? 5
penalty.
It's like anyway. They've also added additional DRS reviews, an additional unsuccessful DRS review for each team in each innings of the match. And last, but definitely not least, additional logo allowed. A logo not exceeding 32 square inches in size may be placed on the chest of the test match shirt and sweater. Let's start with
ये आपने chest पे इतना जोर
क्यों दिया?
Let's start with the
कैमरा हिल गया तुम्हारा chest.
Let's start with spitting.
टोपी की position shift हो गई है पीछे.
अच्छा, सुनो. Let's start with spitting on the balls. Okay. Wasim Akram has
what better way to start?
Wasim Akram has said that it is going to turn fast bowlers into robots. What do you guys make of that?
यार देखो बात मतलब वसीम भाई कोई गलत बात तो करते नहीं है. इजी ख्वाजा के बाद वसीम भाई तो आए हैं. But there is a fact that the game is already becoming more batsman friendly throughout. Of course, this particular precaution is more because of the current circumstances that we're in and the health risk and all of that stuff. But the fact becomes that if you can't use an additional substance to perhaps shine the ball enough to get reverse swing, then it's more in favor of the batsman. It's hard to keep a straight face while talking about spitting on balls.
Yeah,
but चलो English pitches तो चलो कुछ swing होता है. एशिया में क्या करोगे?
एशिया में तो मैचेस नहीं हो रहे भाई.
कराची
एशिया में मैच हो किधर सकता है आजकल?
मैं बताता हूँ. Whoever the sweatiest motherfucker is on the team is going to stand with the bowler at mid-on and mid-off. उसी का सारा पसीना ball पे.
So sweat is allowed. So that's a good point because sweat is allowed.
वो मुझे Key and Peele वाले GIF याद आ गए. वो नहीं होता?
Yeah, I think sweat is allowed because sweat say I don't think the virus is transmitted through sweat.
Khwaja,
yes,
what do you think?
Miss Who, Doctor Who expert.
I believe it's from what air.
Yeah,
no, it is oral and nasal borne.
Respiratory, right?
Yeah.
I don't think sweat counts in that.
यार 4 महीनों से stay at home अभी तक नहीं पता क्या हो रहा है.
What do you think this is going to take?
या एरियल क्या है वो?
एरियल की बात नहीं होगी इस शो पे.
What do you think this is going to take away from fast bowling? The fact that you're not going to be able to spit on balls.
यार इंग्लैंड में the ball usually it keeps swinging even when it's old like 30 40 50 overs old भी हो तो हवा में मूव होता है तो इंग्लैंड में शायद इतना ना फील होए बट मुझे एशिया में वही मैं सोचा कि भाई वो जो हमारी डेड पिचेस पे मैचेस होते हैं फिर हमारे बॉलर क्या करेंगे because reverse swing is the main tool for survival over there so it's going to be pretty challenging you know
yeah but वैसे इस
शायद
circumstance
spin tracks और बन जाए
हाँ मैं उस दिन ये कह रहा था कि in circumstances में maybe you know the ICC should have permitted certain additional substances or fluids or something I don't know मतलब कह देते कि भाई आप जो है वो वैसलीन लेके आ जाएं थोड़ी सी वो मल लें हर 10 ओवर बाद जो है वो अंपायर एक वैसलीन का रब अलाउ कर देगा I don't know something unique
उसकी सिग्नल होगी
Didn't someone tweet a photo? I think ESPN, yeah, someone tweeted, or maybe ICC, of one of those, you know, spray bottles. Is that the thing? Maybe the umpire is going to have one in his hand.
Maybe.
Yeah. Refresh kare, balls refresh kare.
Yeah.
I mean, the premise of the conclusion is that you cannot take more away from the bowlers.
यार umpire ही shine कर दे. उसकी थूक लग जाए.
It's becoming. The game is already.
उसको हो जाए तो फिर.
ये ले चाट.
umpire जी चाटे.
The game is already skewed so far.
ये ले चाट. We're gonna make t-shirts out of that and we're gonna sell them on Change of His Lifetime.
With a ball in his hand and Afridi's face.
All right, I'm gonna bring it back to the fact that the game is.
Mine will be cut
a little bit towards the batsman too much. So we obviously need to find a little bit of balance there. But the other rule that's come out is the fact that because of travel restrictions, there will be no need for neutral umpires. Which means we're back into the 80s where Michael Holding doesn't get any wickets in Australia.
यार अब ठीक है यार ठीक है we can't क्या बोले अब कि नहीं हमें अब कोई फॉरेन अंपायर चाहिए इट्स ओके यार इतनी टीवी ले रहे 1500 कैमरा है वो क्या बायस डिसीजन देगा
exactly
you saw what happened with that guy what was his name जो ऑस्ट्रेलियन था जिसने हमारा ओवल गेट किया था क्या नाम था उसका I forgot his name
the Chubbs guy
yeah
Daryl
Hair
मतलब we literally he was buried in the ground जो इतना मीडिया ग्लेयर हो गया कोई बात नहीं यार
no and it's so much harder now exactly और plus जो दूसरा पॉइंट था कि उन्होंने एक एक्स्ट्रा DRS रिव्यू डाल दिया उसके अंदर I think it's partly because of this as well कि भाई अगर आपको ये ज्यादा चीज फील हो रही है कि you know the umpire is not making the right decisions in your favor you take that extra review and if you get called out continuously or if there's a certain number of mistakes that you made every match it actually affects your umpire rating so you're not going to be there for longer so all of this stuff is tracked and I don't think it's going to be a big issue to have
but that means ICC is acknowledging that home umpires we cannot control their bias just by giving you an extra DRS they have acknowledged that there may be a bias there
conspiracy theory
bias
DRS it's not for those umpire वही है ना बॉल पुराना नहीं कर सकते बैटिंग इनिंग लंबी चलती रहेगी 140 150 ओवर चलेंगे तो यार वही रिव्यू 80 ओवर बाद रिफ्रेश होता है उसके बाद फिर क्या करेंगे यू नो इट ओनली रिफ्रेश
नहीं और अगर आप देखें ना कि वनडो में आपको 2 रिव्यू मिलते हैं तो आपको 80 ओवर में भी तो 2 से ज्यादा मिलने चाहिए ना
नहीं वनडे में भी एक ही मिलता है 2 थोड़ी
एक मिलता है नहीं वनडे में एक है
पहले 2
T20 में एक है पहले बट ये बेसिकली मतलब पुराने रूल्स पे जा रहे हैं ना कि you had the additional ones I don't think it's the worst thing honestly given the fact that it does add another element of I don't know strategy to the game sometimes
umpires call एक already +1 था फिर आप उन्होंने on top of that so +1 you know the 4
I don't mind listen if it makes decisions better in the game there is no harm in it
exactly
but the rule that really got me and I really don't like this it really upset me and Khwaja I put it on our
it got you shook
it shook me and I think they're coming after the game they're coming after the traditionalists and it's the you have T20 cricket you have leagues उधर आपने जो है कूल एंड कूल लगाना है आपने DHL सीमेंट लगाना है आपने बबल गम लगानी है आप लगाओ now they're coming after the test jerseys now they're coming after the test shirts 32 square inches in the middle of the damn chest यार एक तमीज होती है एक रख रखा होता है
इतना बड़ा लोगो
एक टेस्ट क्रिकेट का रख रखा होता है एक ब्यूटी होती है एक
रख रखा वाओ
शर्ट उठाओ जल्दी से शर्ट उठाओ पीछे से दिखाओ 32 इंचेस कितना बड़ा होता है
मुझे ये बताएं कि इस शर्ट पे 32 इंचेस आप डाल देंगे तो बचेगा क्या
भाई 32 इंचेस Are you sure?
That's what it says. I'm going to read
square inches
logo not
32 32 inches
square
would
inches.
be a big ass logo.
No, it says 32 square inches. It's the whole goddamn thing. यार ख्वाजा मुझे ये बताओ लाल रंग का लोगो लग गया तो बॉल भी नहीं नजर आएगी
यार 32 square inch का मतलब है 4/8 so 4 into 3 12 into क्या फर्क पड़ता है 12
How are we okay with this? It's the one format. आप पहले कहते रहे तो कोई टेस्ट मैच नहीं देखता तो पेप्सी के लोगों के लिए लोग टेस्ट मैच देखेंगे
यार उससे फर्क क्या पड़ता है अगर लोगो लग जाए क्या बात कर रहे हो
this is the wrong attitude. The attitude you should be having is how to get the change of pace logo on that.
Exactly.
Ah.
Exactly.
Yes,
Thank you.
attitude.
Thank you.
इसलिए पाकिस्तानी तरक्की नहीं करते तुम जैसे लोगों की वजह से.
This is not the conversation we're having. The conversation we're having is that you have one-day cricket, and more so, you have T20 cricket where you're allowed to do whatever the hell you want. Why are you coming after the test?
Yeah, because you're losing revenue. You're losing revenue.
I would rather have one central logo instead of ये जो छोटे-छोटे patches नहीं इन्होंने यहाँ पे डाले. एक central logo लगा दो.
मुझे तो shoulder logo भी नहीं पसंद. Lays आपने लगा दिया, कल को कुरकुरे लगा दोगे.
तुम बनियान में खेला करो.
Exactly.
All natural.
Yeah,
नहीं देखो एक second मुसाद. They were set to lose what around 275 million pounds or whatever euros in the season that they were going to miss. आपकी gate revenue चला गया. ठीक है आप सिर्फ revenue जो है वो TV deal से कमा रहे हो. Giving this extra advertising space to potential whoever brands is not a bad way to recover that money because again think about it, you still need to reinvest that money. I don't think it's a big deal.
I just hope it's a cool sponsor. I just hope it's something classy. That's all it is.
भाई जावेद आफरीदी ने बचपन से खरीदा हुआ है हायर का लोगो आने वाला है
हायर का आएगा हायर है cool
बट पेशावर ज़ल्मी का लोगो ना है बाकी खैर है.
What about the you? I think we were all okay with test numbers though. Names and numbers made sense.
Our numbers is fine.
वो भी ट्रेडिशन के खिलाफ नहीं तब तुम्हारी परंपरा और तुम्हारे वो नहीं जाके मुगल आजम
यार देखो उसमें अब हम जाके जब टेस्ट मैच देखते हैं थोड़ा एक वैल्यू ऐड होती है उसमें कि okay you can actually see that this is that player, this is who it is. But what is the value here? Okay, I get what Emmett's saying. I get that it might recover a fraction of the value of the revenue. But once things go back to normal, then fine, get rid of the logo.
That's not going to happen.
Cricket is played in whites, not in tie and dye Pepsi logos.
But you're not changing the color so much, man.
Wimbledon में भी यही बात हुई थी. याद है जब Serena Williams ने
Yo, don't make this about Serena.
Yeah, नहीं, this is
नहीं और उसका भी तो logo check करो तुम. रॉजर फेडरर ने इतना बड़ा यूनिक्लो या जो भी उसकी ब्रांड है इतना बड़ा उसने लोगो थोपा हुआ है वो वाइट पहले शर्ट होती थी प्योर या व्हाटएवर. अब उसमें क्या मसला है उसमें तो तुम रो नहीं रहे वो रॉजर है उस पे तुम नहीं रोगे. बट बाबर आजम जो है चेस्ट पे लोगो लगा ले तो तुम्हें मसला है.
तुम्हें बाबर आजम की चेस्ट से क्या मसला है?
Anyways, that's my 2 cents on it. But we'll talk about more playing conditions because again, I said that you have T20 cricket where people are allowed to mess around. And they have that ability in the BBL. They're doing
the test format has been tinkered since its inception. पहले 110 ओवर के मैच होते थे फिर एक ही बॉल होता था फिर बॉल चेंज होती थी फिर टाइमिंग चेंज हो गई पहले 6 दिन के टेस्ट मैच होते थे एक ब्रेक इतनी चीजें होती नहीं बॉडी लाइन आया so it's always been modified. It's not a big deal.
Yeah,
for the sake of commercialization अब आप कह रहे हो जी आप एंटीफा बन रहे हो जी एनार्किस्ट बन रहे हो वो अलग बात है. You're going to fight the man.
Okay, I want to talk about the BBL. It's the league that Khwaja hates. It's the league that never ends. It's the league that Australian test.
I do not watch it, but I do not hate it. I cannot hate what I do not care for. Mr. Khuda.
The opposite of love is not hate. The opposite of love is indifference. AC Khwaja, ladies and gentlemen.
Indifference.
But let me put it on a t-shirt.
Damn, he's getting wiser.
It's getting wiser with age. That's the lesson. Anyways, the BBL, it is one of those leagues that's a little bit, bewildering in the sense that the best Australian cricketers don't play there. International presence in the BBL has deteriorated. It feels like it's a run-on sentence of a league. But they just keep trying new things to make it more commercially viable. And again, in Australia, it does attract a decent crowd within the playoffs. What have they done? They've added a bonus point, which is available to teams for their progress at the 10-over point of an innings.
These are still proposed changes, I believe.
Well, they're proposed, yeah. I mean,
it's on the table.
Yeah. Substitutions within a specified period of the game. This one is interesting. Power play split between the first 4 overs of the innings and 2 overs floating anywhere else. I mean, if you guys remember in the first, when we first introduced power plays in cricket, you had that floating power play, which is being brought back. Free hits as a penalty for bowling wides. Extra breaks for advertisements. So Ahmed's happy here. He can squeeze in as much laundry detergent as he wants. and drafts.
So, look. This blatant commercialization. This is something that I can be more against because a logo on a shirt's a bit more subtle. You know, whatever. It's not going to be in my face every 5 overs.
Yeah,
This
it's not
rule
taking away
that
from the game. Yeah.
right, the BBL is now introducing strategic timeouts where it's just commercial चलाना है हमने हर 5 ओवर के बाद सोचो 1 या 2 ब्रेक्स की जगह आपने मतलब उनको 4 में कर दिया 8 ब्रेक्स आएंगे पर इनिंग्स जो 1.5 घंटे की इनिंग्स थी या 3 घंटे का मैच था वो ऑटोमेटिकली जो आपका 15-10-15-20 मिनट एक्सटेंड हो जाएगा लास्ट ओवर्स में वैसी मैच जो और ज्यादा खिंच जाता है तो दिस फॉर देम इज
वाइड पे फ्री हिट देना फिर वो जो यार विकेट गिरती है वो क्या फ्री हिट पे विकेट गिर रही है
wides are being given as free hits are allowed. You know, free hits, runouts can happen on free hits, by the way, Khwaja. So what, I mean, even if you do get stumped.
यार पहले होता था free hit पे आप सिर्फ run out हो सकते थे. Now you're messing with that technicality of the game. So this is a non-starter of an idea. The floating power play, I'm not a big fan of that. यार क्या वो फिर it didn't work in ODI, so why do you want to start it in?
I mean, you have.
What I do like is the bonus point idea. आप लगा दो कि if you complete the run chase in for say 16 overs or 17 overs, then you get a bonus point, or you bowl them out for within a certain percentage. That's a good idea. It will give leagues a much needed fill up. के यार points का difference आ जाएगा, calculations आ जाएंगी. That's a very good thing. I think that.
But you know what they're doing now. You know what they're doing now. Again, the game is more. I mean, it's sexier when it comes to an audience watching a batting side than it is a bowling side. Cricket purists definitely like bowling or conditions where you're getting a lot of wickets or cheap dismissals or teams getting out for under 100. But when it comes to a TV audience, तुमने छक्के देखने हैं या तुमने मतलब wickets देखनी है? Definitely game जो है वो sixes or fours की वजह से ज़्यादा exciting है. If you're going to increase the power play duration or change the way that it's done, you're potentially changing score lines of maybe 180 or 200 to 220, 240 because you suddenly have that timing and ability with an old ball and all that stuff to really accelerate. So ये वाले rules
हमने देखा था ODIs में भी हमने देखा था end of the day सब सिर्फ 35 overs में लेते थे and that was the only thing they ever did. There was no
exactly.
But here's my question to you guys. We've debated the importance of wickets in T20 cricket on our live commentary as well. Are they as important as they are in other formats? Our agreement was that they're not really, and we might see T20 league sides and even national teams shuffle their batting order accordingly. I am the West Indies batting coach. Somehow I've got the job. I've got Andre Fletcher. I've got Darren Sammy. I've got Kieran Pollard. I've got all these big hitters that can tonk the ball out of the stadium. And at some point, I have a power play left. Now imagine if I have the ability to take that power play with just 2 fielders outside the circle in overs 19 and 20. Like Emmett said, that can take me from 180 to a 210, 215.
नहीं आप बिल्कुल सही कह रहे हो लेकिन वही है ना ये तब भी सोचा गया था कि यार वनडे क्रिकेट में फिर लोग बचा के रखेंगे अपने हिटर्स को ऊपर भेजेंगे it didn't really change end of the day we just got stuck in patterns. It's an idea that can be probably experimented with but I am personally not a fan of tinkering. मैं चाहता हूँ यार एक वक्त पे यो व्यूअर को भी वो confusion नहीं होती हमें समझ आ रहा है कि क्या हो रहा है 6 ओवर हैं ये हमने निकालने हैं. So let's see, maybe BBL is going to try it. So good luck with that. But I think the bonus points is definitely a good. I want to see जो football में home and away का एक importance होता है ना away goals का. We need something like that in T20 leagues. कि मैच लाहौर में हो रहा है और कराची में हो रहा है इसमें कराची को क्या एडवांटेज है लाहौर में जीते. We need to somehow figure out a way to make home and away a thing. That is really important.
Yep. No, and the point about the power play split, what I recall from when we did it in the ODIs, होता ये था कि आप 35th ओवर पे आते थे आप अपने मतलब जो भी बैटिंग लाइनअप को बचाते थे एकदम से वो 5 ओवर का जो बर्स्ट आता था ना because you've been so slow for the last whatever 20-25 odd overs आपसे एक्सेलरेट होता ही नहीं था you saw more exactly because आप उससे पहले जो है बड़े आराम से सिंगल डबल का गेम खेल रहे हैं बाउंड्रीज नहीं लग रही you're still going at 5, 6, 7 and over एकदम से आप आकर कहो ना कि यार 5 ओवर है आपने मारना है. Your game style changes completely. You are either holding back on players or your own style of batting, and suddenly wickets started falling. So the game became more skewed towards the bowling side during that time because they could come in, bowl certain lines and lengths, and people were just going whatever crazy about it. And you pick up more wickets. So it goes against the principle or the idea of accelerating or making it more exciting.
5 ओवर में विकेटें लूज करते थे फिर वो जो आखिरी 10 ओवर है ना उस पे अगर नंबर 8 और नंबर 9 बैटिंग करें फिर वनडे मैच वैसे ही खराब हो जाता है क्योंकि आई बिलीव ODIs इज द मोस्ट डिफिकल्ट फॉर्मेट टू बैट फॉर टेल एंडर्स क्योंकि आपको स्कोर करने हैं स्ट्राइक भी रोटेट करनी ये सब टेल एंडर्स नहीं कर सकते. फिर एंड में वो ब्लॉक कर रहे हैं, 3-4 का रन रेट हो रहा है, अजीबोगरीब 170 की चेस 195 पे हाँ नॉन इनिंग्स हो जाती है. So,
anyways, we are heading towards the end of the show. It's been a good one today. We've discussed a lot of happenings in the world of cricket. I think that the gist of it is that some of us, myself, are not really happy with the fact that Test cricket keeps changing. But T20, you have a little bit more liberty to go a little crazy. As we usually end with the show with a question, I have a good one for you today. It is our typical fanboy question. He's somebody that's always there and about the conversation when it comes to Pakistan Test cricket. He's back in the mix. It's Fawad Alam. He's a shivering Ryan Chanderpaul of Pakistan cricket. I'm going to go around and ask you guys. I'll start with you, Sir. Do you see him in the starting 11 this summer in England?
I think he has to be. Or kaun aayega? I think this is it. Especially after Misbah didn't play him in Pakistan. That's it. I think iske baad, if he doesn't play him in England, then why is he still in the team?
And he's in his early 30s already.
That's it. Yeah, this is his last dance.
It's early days for a Pakistani batsman, man. If you're in your early 30s, you're basically debuting. So Misbah came back when he was 33. It's prime time for him to be captain again. Abid Ali, whoever, but no, I agree with Suhail. एक तो अभी हारिस सुहेल वाली जो न्यूज़ आई है कि हारिस सुहेल नहीं जा रहा क्योंकि हारिस की जगह पक्की हुई थी पिछले 3 टेस्ट से. Haris was adding this extra element of bowling as well. Fawad bowls left arm spin, but not so frequently. So वो वाला added factor नहीं होगा. But in terms of the batsmen that you're going to take, and in terms of the batsmen that you have in the squad, I don't see how they can look past him. And if they do this time, then honestly, yeah, that's curtains for him. I don't think he can expect to be in the squad and not make the lineup when he's probably the most deserving after the guys who are in the starting 11.
But he needs to be given the chance. You can't just play him for one game or that's or
maybe
all the whole series.
We keep saying that, and somehow we find Fawad Alam back in the mix. The other thing I do want to mention.
I would like to mention 2 things, 2 pehlus. First of all, Younis Khan and Misbah ul Haq, their role is very important because Fawad Alam made his test debut under Younis Khan in 2009 against Sri Lanka. आपको ये याद होना चाहिए कि फवाद को उसने घुसेड़ा था लाइनअप पे, जगह नहीं बनी थी, उसने कहा तू ओपन कर लेकिन तू खेल. And secondly, Fawad Alam's last recall to the Pakistan ODI team was under Misbah ul Haq in that Asia Cup 2014-15 period.
The one that we won.
Was dropped. The one we lost the final, but he was very good in that tournament. So that was the last time Fawad Alam was in the ODI setup as well. And Misbah as coach has brought Fawad Alam back into the squad. हम कह सकते हैं जी मीडिया प्रेशर बहुत था ये वो, but the fact remains that Misbah's head coach and as chief selector recalled Fawad Alam to the test team. But the other opposite end of the spectrum is कि क्योंकि ये ball shine करने वाला issue आ गया, will we need 4 fast bowlers in England? Will Rana Fahim Ashraf be selected as the all-rounder option कि भाई हम fast bowlers को break दे रहे हैं, तू आके bowling कर? I don't agree with that, but that is on the table. और इफ्तिखार है जो हमने देखे, इफ्तिखार Misbah kind of likes him, plus he's a bowler. So there are some pehlus. There are some.
Is he in your 11, Khwaja? Answer the question. Is he in your 11?
I would put him because Rana Fahim is garbage and Iftikhar हमने देखा he's not capable of that.
आप एक बंदे को भूल रहे हैं उस स्क्वाड में, which could be a wild card entry. That's Shadab Khan. No. हमाद आजम तो यार तुम लोग मतलब चांस ही नहीं देते, छोड़ो. But देखो शादाब खान जब पिछली बार भी गया था, कितनी 3 हाफ सेंचुरीज उसने बनाई थी. फहीम ने
ये अब हम रिवील कर देते हैं, ये अहमद हसन ने ये क्यों कहा है, जरा अपना ये लोगो दिखाइए.
ये मैं पहले दिखा चुका हूं, जब आपने फहीम अशरफ वाली बात की थी मैंने तब दिखा दिया था. बट नहीं, मतलब जेन्युइनली स्पीकिंग, अगर शादाब खान की बैटिंग इतनी इंप्रूव हुई है जितनी हमने पीएसएल में देखी थी, then who's to say, and again the point that we can't maybe have an extra fast bowler, maybe we need that extra spinner, and with Haris Sohail going and having this gap,
will be batting tracks. गर्मी है इंग्लैंड में, कह रहे हैं पहले बहुत गर्मी है, तो yes,
exactly. Dry wickets हुई तो definitely जो है मुझे लगता है एक extra spinner खिलाएंगे, क्योंकि अब आपके पास वो ऑलराउंडर्स भी नहीं रहे ना. Exactly. भाई हफीज होता था तो आपके पास एक स्पिनर था एक्स्ट्रा, हारिस था, अब वो नहीं मिल रहा आपको, और इफ्तिखार अहमद इतना अच्छा नहीं honestly यार.
So Ahmed, is Fawad in your 11 or not?
Fawad is in my 11, but if you gave me, a wild card pick in Shadab Khan, I would take Shadab Khan. No bias.
So he's not in your 11.
Not because of the logo on my chest, but
he is, but he's not. I mean, it's like.
Yeah, this is a very, very good point that Ahmed Hassan has made. आप इस पे एक Twitter poll बनाओ कि would you pick Fawad Alam or Shadab Khan as your 6th batsman in your Test 11? That's a very good point.
Shadab's, again, that's not a metric that I want to go on, but Shadab's had a pretty decent PSL. We are back again for another episode. Well, it's the same episode of Change of Pace Weekly. We recorded this episode last night. We discussed a lot of things. And then we woke up this morning and realized that the PCB, alongside Misbah Haq, had decided to announce the squads for the England tour. So we want to sit around and discuss who's made it and who's not, who's opted out for personal reasons and who's not. And we're just going to discuss what the team looks like and what the tour might look like. And if you see the sunlight coming in, some of our faces look better because of haircuts. Some of our shirts now have marijuana on them. That is only because we are now recording in a completely different day. I'll start with the openers. Abid Ali, Fakhr Zaman, Imam al-Haq, and Shan Masood make the 4 openers. Middle order, you've got Shafiq, Fawad Alam, who we talked about in Lands yesterday. Heather Ali, Iftikhar Ahmed, Khushdil Shah makes a comeback. And Muhammad Hafiz and Shoaib Malik, the 2 veterans. And the keepers were still shorthanded through Rizwan and Sarfraz Ahmed. And you could make an 11 out of the fast bowlers with Fahim, Haris, Imran Khan, Abbas, Hasnan, Naseem Shah, Shaheen Shah Afridi, Sohail, Moobs Khan, Usman Shinwari, and Wahab Riaz. And in the spinners, you got all-rounder Ahmad Wasim, Kashif Bhatti, Shadab Khan, and Yasir Shah. I'll start with you, Khwaja. What do you make of the squad?
Yeah, it's obviously a 29-man list squad, so they're going to be very familiar names, most of them. But I'm surprised that somebody like Imam al-Haq has gotten a free entry into the team. We've seen Sami Aslam, he's made over 800 runs in Quaid-e-Azam Trophy, got 400s. And of course, there's Imran, but he's basically a top-order batsman. He was the top scorer in Quaid-e-Azam, over 900 runs and 400s. They got nowhere near the squad. Imam al-Haq, he didn't really play that much Quaid-e-Azam. He didn't play that much PSL. And he just gets a free ticket to England, So उधर थोड़े से merit की बात हो सकती थी. और Musa Khan, यार इसको हम select नहीं करते रहे, but he was training with Waqar Younis and Misbah with the national team. He was there. We saw him through the Bangladesh tour and the Sri Lanka tour. He was there on the outskirts of the squad, and he is completely not selected. और Sohail Khan का क्या future है Test या T20 में जो आप उसको ले गए? इमरान खान का क्या future है? So some of these decisions have been quite baffling. Amir Tika, we finally know that because of the birth of his second child.
If we say Imran Khan's name, we need to do a disclaimer that we are not attacking any of our friends that we know personally.
We are not attacking, and even he is not attacking with his bowling, to be quite. And Junaid Khan इनसे बेहतर नहीं था, इन दोनों से कुछ तो बेहतर था.
I'm a big, Khwaja, I'm a big Junaid Khan advocate. I think he's done really well for Pakistan when the opportunities presented itself. Ahmed, a little bit of obviously Islamabad United action in the squad. You must be happy with that.
The United.
But what do you make of the overall look out of the 29 that are going to England?
Yeah, I think मेरी ख्वाजा से मतलब इस बारे में राय मिलती है because a lot of the guys who did perform, they didn't get the chance, the records that they had in the Quaid-e-Azam Trophy and even in the PSL, they're not really being recognized. Looking at the wicket keepers, I'm not really sure why Sarfraz Ahmed is getting a return to that squad. I feel like they've gone for previous experience over anything else, honestly, at this point. A lot of the names there are just names that have been around the circuit for a very long time, or they've maybe played in England before. So they're going for experience over recent performances. Imam al-Haq की याद जहाँ तक बात जाती है, at least recent past में जो उसने England में matches खेले हैं, I think वो उसके लिए जो है वो एक I guess credibility है या जो भी कुछ कह लो, वो उस वजह से शायद जा रहा है. फास्ट बॉलिंग में 14 या 15 तो हमारे फास्ट बॉलर्स जा रहे हैं इस लाइनअप में, राइट? और उसके अंदर इमरान खान और सोहेल खान दोनों की जगह नहीं बनती. आई एम नॉट अ बिग फैन ऑफ जुनैद खान anymore because his performances and his skill level has declined over the last few years. But given even the recent PSL, he's better than Sohail Khan. Sohail Khan से तो कुछ किया ही नहीं जाता यार. मतलब किस बुनियाद पे आप उसको लेके जा रहे हो?
The failure for Karachi Kings. But I have to disagree with you about Sarfraz Ahmed. I think he's still the best keeper in Pakistan. He's still
वो तो मतलब तुम्हारा bias है और कुछ नहीं है.
No,
तुम disagree.
Do you really think that you'd be happier with Rizwan behind the stumps?
Not just Rizwan. I'm not saying just Rizwan, but if you're looking at a batting lineup for the T20s, and you look at Kamran Akmal, he's not done too badly in the PSL or behind the stumps.
Kamran Akmal has the second most runs in Quaid-e-Azam and the most dismissals in Quaid-e-Azam.
I'm okay not giving him a run. Right, I'm okay with it.
That's the name I actually wanted to go towards. Under 19 captain, a little bit of put some respect on that name. He's been doing well in that circuit, and he didn't really shine at the PSL, but there's an opportunity there. But speaking of the PSL, Sohail, We got Haider Ali in the squad. Peshawar Zalmi's very boisterous looking batsman. He's very aggressive. Do you think it's a bit premature?
No, I think Haider Ali's decision makes sense. He showed in the PSL what he can do, but the middle order, I think the middle order section is fine. For me, it's the fast bowlers, which I was listening to Misbah's presser, and he said the reason we've selected so many fast bowlers is because we won't have the option of net bowlers over there. So we need to take these, these extra bowlers along.
Sohail Khan,
but Sohail Khan को बंदा one tip ना खिलाए, net पे खिला रहे. So yeah, that's the only one issue के लिए. Yeah, no, still, I mean, Musa would have still been better, for the pace.
Yeah, Rahat Ali, I'm surprised that Rahat Ali is not getting any sort of shout out when it comes to England. Yeah, the conditions are in his favor. He's been decent. इमरान खान को बार-बार ले आते हैं यार, मतलब इमरान खान ने कौन से इनके नोट्स रखे हुए हैं, क्या किया हुआ है जो हर टूर में सेलेक्ट हो रहा है. ऑस्ट्रेलिया ले गए, इंग्लैंड ले गए.
His QET record's pretty good. His Qaid-e-Azam Trophy record's pretty decent, I think.
Yeah, fine, but then he comes out and he's a goddamn trundler. He bowls at 120
kph,
like no movement.
Well,
exactly. मतलब कर क्या रहा है वो यार?
क्यों ले आते हैं उसको? Do you guys think Misbah is actually going to play Sarfraz in test? I feel like he's just going to play Sarfraz in tests.
No, I think Rizwan still has a no. Why? I think he's going to. Why does he have to play?
आपने बात की कीपर की तो यार ज़ीशान अशरफ को आप थर्ड मैवरिक कीपर ले जाते T20 में. रिजवान को आपने लाजम खिलाना है T20 में.
I think खुशदिल शाह को maybe drop करके कर लेते तुम लोग. खुशदिल शाह
यार lower order के लिए उन्होंने डाला हुआ है ना. He's got the firepower
as well.
Yeah.
यार टेस्ट में अगर आप बैटिंग की बात कर रहे हैं और कीपिंग की बात कर रहे हैं, सरफराज is the best pick.
I would agree with that over Rizwan. I would agree with that over
his again.
रिजवान ने अभी 95 मारा ऑस्ट्रेलिया में यार, तुम क्या बात कर रहे हो?
नहीं, और किस बेसिस पे आप रिजवान को एकदम से गिरा देंगे? अगेन उसने ऑस्ट्रेलिया में भी अच्छी परफॉर्मेंस दी थी और एज अ विकेट कीपर इज नॉट बीन डूइंग बैडली.
तो फिर आप सरफराज को कमबैक क्यों करवा रहे हो?
लाइन देखिए,
आप सरफराज को कमबैक क्यों करवा रहे हो
यार? उसके जीजे लगे,
इट्स रेपुटेशन. इसलिए उसको स्टैंप नहीं लगवाना था.
He's just a corona backup.
यार Khwaja, tell me about Haider Ali. I have a bit of a feeling. I know that the PSL products at the international arena is a matter of pride for us. It's nice to see it, but we saw that there was this ability in Haider Ali to really get going. Ahmed said in previous episodes that he hits all around the park, but he didn't really get that big innings. You feel that it might be a little premature for him to be in the Pakistan side?
यार मुसाद हैदर अली की आपने बात की, बट यार ऑप्शंस ही हमारे पास क्या है? वी डोंट हैव अ नंबर 3 इन T20s और नंबर 4 फॉर दैट मैटर. हारिस सोहेल को हमने ट्राई कर लिया, ही फेल्ड. ये ज़ीशान अशरफ हमने देखा है, ठीक है, इतना खास नहीं है, वी कांट रिलाई ऑन हिम. शर्जील खान, आई एम सरप्राइज्ड डिडंट गेट अ लुक इन. फखर जमान फिर ऑटोमेटिकली वापस आ गया आफ्टर बीइंग रिसेंटली ड्रॉप्ड वर्सेस बांग्लादेश. एहसन अली हमने देखा था, ही इज जस्ट अ हैक और उसकी फिटनेस स्टैंडर्ड्स वर शॉकिंग. तो फिर अहमद शहजाद इज अ नो गो, उमर अकमल इज अ नो गो. तो फिर हैदर अली को फिर अपॉर्चुनिटी देनी चाहिए. एंड आई थिंक द गुड थिंग अबाउट हिम इज he hits his shots with a straight bat. He doesn't play like a hack, cross the line slogs वाला काम नहीं होता. And Khushtil, we saw in that one innings against Lahore Qalandars, he was very explosive. So fair enough, options ही कोई नहीं. ऊपर से हमारे पास हफीज और मलिक का भी काला साया है इस टीम पे, तो वैसे भी कोई यंगस्टर प्रोग्रेस नहीं कर सकता.
Still think that there's merit for them to be there, but honestly,
what merit यार? हफीज की क्या merit है यार?
यार if he can bowl you,
शोएब मलिक CPL के stats ना बताना यार.
नहीं.
That's a big league. Hey, that's a big league. Okay.
But there is that selection, Ahmed. I'll go to you about this. Fakhar Zaman selection is something that we often overlook. Maybe it's because of how much we enjoyed the CT17 final, or maybe it's because Babar and Imam have kind of taken away the spotlight from him. But that's a walking wicket in the last couple years.
He has been, but if you look at the PSL, he wasn't the worst batsman or worst Pakistani batsman that we saw. And I think towards the latter half of that tournament, he was starting to look better. I think he had a bit more confidence with Chris Lynn opening alongside him, and he had a better batting lineup below him. So I saw him improving. And I think if he can carry forward that kind of form, I mean, there's still been a huge gap between the PSL and now, but if he can carry that forward or get that mentality right, then he is, one of the most attacking batsmen that we have in Pakistan. He's very unconventional. We know that, he's played in England before, he's performed there. So maybe that's still in his mind too. I feel like a lot of these picks are based on the past, on their reputation,
on YouTube clips. Basically.
Exactly, on YouTube clips. यार 2017 में उसने एक मैच खेला था, वो वाला सीन हो रहा है थोड़ा थोड़ा. But
सोहेल खान की कौन सी कोई YouTube clip है वो तो मुझे बता दो
भाई उसने 2 टेस्ट मैच आपको जिताए he has 2 5-ers in 2016
बिल्कुल 2016 में बट आई फील के जो बैट्समैन है उसके अंदर यू आर
the band back together यूनुस तू भी आ जा हम इंग्लैंड जा रहे हैं वो
मेरे सारे बॉयज
I think Imran Khan भी is a Misbah pick. It's a very Misbah-esque pick. Yeah. But actually overall
2013-14 में जो सीरीज चल रही थी आपकी ऑस्ट्रेलिया के खिलाफ यहाँ पे दुबई में और बाकी सब के खिलाफ इमरान खान was your main घोड़ा है ना
again we are nitpicking and that's because that's what we're tasked to do. Overall it's good to have an abundance of fast bowlers, some young batsmen in the mix as well, and a couple keepers. I think Rohil should have been given a shout out in the keeping section as well, but overall I think we're looking good in the tour, and that will pretty much be it for our squad discussion. We'll slot it in the middle of this episode. Leave your comments in the YouTube section, tweet us at Change of Pace 414, Instagram at Change of Pace Live, and I think we will now cut back to yesterday night where suddenly my hair grows back and Sohail's shirt changes and Ahmed
the light suddenly disappears.
But until then, have a good one and stay tuned. Ciao. We'll leave you with that question, with that thought to go. It's been a good episode. It's the first time we've been on camera to show you our Corona beards and our Corona hair. It's been a special.
भाई हम तो साफ सुथरे होके आए हैं
क्या हो गया चेक करो कोरोना में ऐसे होता है किसी को
अच्छा मेरे अलावा सब साफ सुथरे होके आए हैं
एमीनी लब दे फेड
We will be back next week, same time, same place, with another episode of Change of Pace Weekly. If you are looking to kill time during the pandemic, make sure you log on to changeofpacelive.com. Take a look at our quizzes, our articles, and join us on Twitter at changeofpace414 and Instagram at Change of Pace Live. Until then, apna khayal rakhein, ghar pe rahein, and please don't be racist. We'll see you next week.